So, we meet again, Ladybug and Cat Noir. After a good while it's been since the last time I talked about you. But here we are again. It is March, and once again, for the fourth year in a row, we are doing Miraculous Ladybug again. Because it's a show that I have gotten hooked into thanks to my girlfriend, and it's a show that I do really like talking about. Though, I will be honest, I have looked back at those old reviews that I did, and yeah, they were pretty bad. Quality wise, anyway. I sounded disinterested, I sounded unfocused, I sounded very just coming off with things off the top of my head. Not to mention, trying to treat it like an anime by doing like full summaries and everything. Which, honestly, for this new fourth season of Miraculous, I don't want to do. Because not only does it make the videos way too long, but it also kind of gets lost in its own perspective. And what I mean by that is that by making the videos so long and by detailing every single little thing, it becomes a bit tedious. So, that's why I'm going to try to treat this more like I do normal episode reviews, where it's not super detailed, it's not super in-depth, but I do talk about the moments that I think are noteworthy, and then I give you my final verdict and written review, etc., etc., etc. So, yes, please do not be alarmed from these reviews being shorter than the ones from the previous 3 years. It's simply because I want to make these easier for you guys to watch, and I want to make myself sound like less of an idiot. Or at least as much as I can manage. So, yeah, with all that out of the way, what's up, what's happening, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number of animation, including TV and movies as well, and also including two heroes fighting on the other side of the world for the faith of humankind. Welcome back to Miraculous March for our fourth endeavor into Miraculous Ladybug, and I've kind of gotten spoiled on little aspects here and there about this season, but I'm just going to say that this is where the show starts to take a dark turn, because from what I've been able to gather, seasons 4 and 5 are a big two-season finale to the battle against Hawkmoth. Like, that's what it's all building up to. And then season 6, the one that's currently airing right now, is a kind of reboot, kind of not. It's weird. That one's going to be weird to talk about. Not to mention the obvious animation style to match the movie, all that stuff. But we're about 2 years away from talking about that. So for now, let's just focus on season 4 of Miraculous, where now we have Ladybug as not only a miraculous holder, but as the guardian after what happened to Fu at the end of season 3. So, yeah, there's a good bit to talk about with this season, and we're going to break it down one piece at a time. Let's start with the very first episode, Truth. And honestly, there's not a whole lot to say. It's a pretty straightforward episode. It's an episode about Marinette trying to learn how to be a guardian, and all the Kwamis getting out, aside from Dusu and Nuru, who are still with Hawkmoth, and causing all kinds of chaos all over Marinette's room. Like, this episode's very, very focused on slapstick. And then you have the other side of the plot, where Marinette is trying to go on dates and stuff with Luca, but she keeps getting called away on Ladybug business, you know. Spider-Man syndrome, as I'm going to call it, because that's the easiest way to put it, where you make all these life plans, but then you have this other life that keeps you from doing this other stuff. Like, classic superhero cliche. It's something we've seen done 1,000 times before, so nothing new there. But, honestly, it doesn't really amount to a whole lot, aside from Luca getting akumatized after Marinette is exposed for not telling the truth. And now that Hawkmoth has also finally fixed the Peacock Miraculous, and he has combined Nuru and Dusu together to create Shadow Moth, now he can create sentient monsters and akumatized villains at the same time. And they're way stronger than they've ever been, thanks to the combined power. So yeah, it's gonna make a lot of problems going into this season. And then, of course, you have Ladybug and Cat Noir fighting the villain. I'm not really going to say the villain's name or anything because it's not super noteworthy. But what is noteworthy is that we do get a battle against an akumatized villain in Marinette's room. Which, if my memory serves correctly, which it probably doesn't, but if it does, this is the first time in the series it's actually happened. Where we get a battle with Ladybug, Cat Noir, and the akumatized villain of the week in Marinette's bedroom. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. I do need to rewatch all my other old reviews. I've only seen a few of them, honestly. But my point is, I think it's the first one. If it's not the first one, correct me in the comments, and I will try to not make that mistake going forward. So, usual Ladybug and Cat Noir antics ensued. They stopped the monster and de-akumatized Luca. But during all of this, Luca also finds out that his father's Jagged Stone. I'm not gonna lie, I should have been able to guess that one, but I actually didn't, and it surprised me. So, props to you, Miraculous. So, after Luca gets de-akumatized, and he finds out that Marinette's still in love with Adrian because of the whole truth power thing with his akumatization, the episode ends with him giving Marinette time to figure out her whole thing. And he goes to Jagged. Well, Jagged actually goes to him. And they talk and hug out. But Marinette does not get a happy ending. Because since she has pretty much ended her relationship with Luca, a.k.a. pretty much taking that entire ending from Season 3 and throwing it out the window, which... it sucks they threw it away that quickly just to get back to the status quo, but whatever. I'm just glad they don't hate each other. But it does result in a pretty cute ending where Marinette is comforted and hugged by all the little Kwamis, which, yeah, that's just cute. So, yeah, it's pretty much everything you want from a series starter. It takes everything back to basics, but it also forwards things, and it starts to show how the stakes are getting higher and higher, especially now that Hawkmoth has now both the Peacock and the Moth Miraculous. So, yeah, not really much else more to say. It's a pretty solid, if simple, starting episode for the season. So let's get to my final thoughts and verdict. It's a perfectly solid season premiere with a lot of slapstick and cute moments that I come to expect from this show, as well as a pretty shocking plot twist. The first battle inside Marinette's room against the villain, again, correct me if I'm wrong about that, I honestly really don't know off the top of my head. The reveal of the evolution of evil known as Shadow Moth, getting to see Marinette interact with all the Kwamis at once was pretty funny. Like, this show does love its comedic slapstick. And an ending that actually doesn't follow the usual cliches. Like, just because Marinette saved the day as Ladybug does not mean she gets to have a happy ending. Sometimes it's just how it be, and I do appreciate the show for not falling back on that old cliche. Sure, it does kind of return things to the status quo again, undoing the biggest ending piece from Season 3, and the action is kind of meh. It's what you expect from Miraculous. But this episode is more about the setup rather than the flash, which is honestly nice to see. Not great, but I had a good time. Final verdict for this episode, solid 7 out of 10. Check it out if you haven't already. Well, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Miraculous videos like this almost every single day. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out a moniker for that one. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when we get to the second episode of Season 4 Miraculous Ladybug, titled Lies. I have a feeling that I know exactly where it's going, but in case I don't, whatever. Regardless, see you in the next review.
Listen, I will soon forget. So listen and you won't regret. Be true to yourself, don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like the fool who ripped his pants.